right, hey, welcome. I'm Annalisa, and I'm just going to show you a little short kind of movement, a little tuning in, a little movement, a little tuning back in, and then you can go on about your day. All right, so first we'll just start out standing, and you might just want to start to shake just a little bit, just a little gentle shaking. Maybe you've been sitting, maybe you've been lying down. Just kind of wake up the joints. Just move around, however it might be good, might feel good to you. All right, and then find a comfortable standing position. You might pick up one foot, step it down, pick up the other foot, step it down, and that might be a good stance for you. Feel free to adjust whenever necessary. Let your arms be down by your sides. And then I invite you to either close your eyes or just take a gentle downward gaze. You don't have to close your eyes all the way. Keep your head level, but just let your gaze be down and kind of let your attention be a little bit more inward rather than focused on the outside. Take a few big full breaths. Starting to take a little inventory of how your body is feeling. Notice how the body feels. Notice how the breath feels. And then notice how your mind is feeling, your spirit. And then perhaps start to deepen the breath a little bit, lengthening the inhale and lengthening the exhale. And these can go by increments. You don't have to go immediately to the biggest, deepest breath unless that feels good. So spend a few moments here tuning more in with the breath. Noticing where it's coming in, either through the nose or the mouth. And notice where it's exiting, whether it's through the mouth or the nose. Noticing the temperature, how it's cooler on the inhale and warmer on the exhale. And then if the deeper breathing is working for you, continue with it, or you can drop it and return to your normal breathing pattern. And then start to invite some relaxation into the body. Now, this could be done maybe like we did a little bit before, maybe just have a little gentle jiggle or shake of your arms and legs to kind of loosen things up a little bit more. Or maybe it's just through thought and you might imagine it through the top of your head, a little bit more relaxation, softening, calming, starting to cascade down from the top of the head, through the face, filling the whole head, moving down through your neck, into your shoulders and down your arms, all the way to your fingers. And then bringing that awareness back into your shoulders and sending that calming, relaxing awareness more and more through your torso, down through the upper back and chest, your mid-back and ribs, into your belly, softening your belly more and more, into your low back, hips and pelvis, and then moving down through your thighs, front and back, the knees, the lower legs, and into your feet and toes. If you happen to be standing as we're doing, you could just let everything flow away into the earth. And then starting to really notice the connection of your body and the earth. So again, if you're standing, you'll notice where your feet are connecting, how they're rooting into the ground. Maybe you can get a sense of whatever you're standing on. I'm standing on carpet. You might be on a mat on tile or wood or more carpet. You might even send your awareness down into whatever's under that surface. Concrete, soil, little beings in the soil. Just noticing. And then start to feel what else you can. So you might feel the clothes on your skin, how they're resting or feeling the weight of them on your skin. You might feel the temperature, whether it's warm or cool. And depending on how it is, you might feel air moving around on the fabric or on your skin, or maybe it's gently moving your hair a little bit. And then noticing any sounds around you, both far away, maybe outside the room, outside your house, and then sounds closer to you in the room, like a ticking clock, or maybe some animals, the fan, and maybe even sounds coming from you, like your breath. And perhaps you hear a little gurgle here and there. Noticing any smells or tastes that are present for you. And even though your eyes might be closed, notice what you can see. You might see things in the room around you if you still got your eyes slightly open. But if you've got your eyes closed, you might still see something like a play of light or shadow on the inside of your eyelids, or any number of things. And then take your awareness into your mind and become aware of any thoughts, feelings, or emotions that might be present for you. And just acknowledge them. You don't have to try to shut them out. Just kind of say hello and let them float on through. They'll come on back if you need them, and sometimes if you don't need them. But just continue to say hello, let them go. And then becoming more and more aware of this present moment. Realizing that every time you tune into the breath or to the bodily sensations, you become more present. And so if you ever get distracted during any type of yoga practice or during your day, if you get too hooked into thinking about things in the past or thinking about things in the future, tune into the breath. Come back to the breath. You might tune into your pulse, another bodily sensation. Or maybe bring your hands onto your body. Come into the moment. Right here, right now. I am here. Here I am. And just allow yourself to be, just for now, just as you are. You're welcome to stay here and observing this moment just as it is, for as long as you like. But you can also take a big full breath in, let it all out, maybe like a sigh. Let's do that one more time. Big breath in, sigh it all out. And then allow your eyes to open if they were closed. And give yourself another shake. Shaking things out. We were standing for a while. Know also that you could have done that kind of centering, tuning in, sitting in a chair, or sitting on the floor, or lying on the floor. So shaking things out. This is going to start to warm things up, warming up the joints, getting the muscles ready to go. Maybe start rowing the arms a little bit. You can go in the opposite direction, starting to move the shoulders. Maybe you move your knees a little bit, get those knees ready to go. And then stepping your feet a little wider apart and start to let your hips move from side to side. Have a little gentle bend in your knees. And then start to move the hips a little forward and back. And again, gentle knees. Starting to warm up the hips, warming up the legs. And give your feet a couple of flicks. And maybe you can hold onto a wall or to a chair if you want a little balance, but give a little circle to wake up the ankles, warming up the feet. And then step your feet a little wider apart and turn your right toes towards the right and angle your left heel towards the left. And we're going to want to do a little Warrior Two Virabhadrasana, but we're going to go through it in maybe a slightly different way. We're going to just have a little fun with it. And so you've got your right toes pointed over to the right, your left heel is turned out a little bit, and bring your hands to your hips. And then we're going to start to bend the right knee. And so that's all we're going to do at first. We're just going to kind of warm things up a little bit, just taking the right knee, bending it, straightening it. Just start noticing how that feels, and feel free if you want to adjust your stance at all, go for it. If you didn't hit it right the first time, that's okay. And then once this is starting to feel good, if it is, then you might invite opening the arms out, inhaling, and then exhaling as you straighten, kind of closing things back in. Inhale, open up, bending knees, opening arms, exhale, closing things back up. You can make this go at your own pace. So if your breath wants to be a little bit slower, or if you want to go a little bit faster, give yourself a little bit of more of a challenge, feel free. And also if your breath changes, if you decide to exhale as you do this, and then inhale like this, that's cool. Now you might really like this moving back and forth. Feel free to keep on doing that. But if you like, you can stick here with the bent knee and have the arms out. And you can always bring the arms down at any time. One arm out, one arm down. But taking the fingertips in the opposite directions, looking over towards the right. You might like to flip your elbow pits and your palms up towards the ceiling. You might give a little opening feeling here. All right, and then see if you can keep that same sense through your upper body, but then you can flip the palms back down again. Breathing, noticing. If you start to feel a little bit too much in this thigh, feel free to take a little break, give a little shake, and you can always come back in. You can even do the same thing just with the arms and have straight legs. Shake out your arms at any time. And then start to take your right hand down towards the right thigh, and you're going to start to lean over, kind of hinging here actually, hinging. And so this might be where you want to be. Maybe you slide a little bit further and bring the forearm down, or maybe the elbow. And again, feel free to adjust. And then if it feels good, maybe lift the left arm, fingertips up towards the ceiling. And you can do a lot of things here. You can do not that. You can do arm up. Maybe you want to bring the arm up and over. Maybe even give a big circle. Just noticing, and you can bring the arm around behind you. You could bring it forward. Just noticing, getting curious. You don't have to look anything like what I'm doing. You can explore your own options. And then Having an idea of a hook on the ceiling that might drag you up, help pull you up, come back to center. And turn the toes so they're both kind of going 45 degrees out. Give your hips a little sway, a little shake. Maybe even inhaling up, squatting down. Inhale up, squat down. And one more time, inhale up, squat down. And then coming back to center. Of course, those squats are optional. And so we'll try over to the other side. So whenever you're ready, turn your left toes towards the left. See if you about angling your right heel over towards the right a little bit. It can also be like this. You just play around. Your hips are not necessarily going to be square. And then start to explore a little bit of movement. Just seeing how that feels. And if you like, then maybe invite an opening of the arms as you bend and bring the arms together as you come back in. If you like, feel free to stay with that moving back and forth, but if you'd like to just hang out here in the side lunge, the Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, then take your fingertips to opposite directions. You might like to turn elbow pits and palms up, get that little opening, and then turn them back down again. Look over towards the left. Breathing, noticing where you're feeling this. Feel free to adjust as necessary. Your feet could be closer together. You could even be sitting on a chair and kind of making the same shape. Now, if you'd like, you bring your left hand down to the left thigh and start to hinge a little bit, coming to a stop wherever that you would like. So hand could slide down, maybe it comes down to the forearm, maybe to the elbow. Noticing how this feels. If you'd like, you could bring your arm up, reaching up towards the ceiling, pressing that forearm or elbow or hand into the thigh, staying strong and tall. You might like to lift it up and over. Maybe take a big circle. And if your arms or shoulder or whatever is not feeling it, then just hang out here. You could have your hand on your hip. Both sides might not be the same, but that's okay. We're just noticing. Moving our bodies, breathing. Exploring. It doesn't always have to be the same way each time either. And so then imagine a hook, grab it, let it pull you up, come back to center, turn your toes out a little, maybe shake those hips, circle them around if that would feel good. And let's do a little squat one more time. Inhale and exhale, squat. Inhale. This time as we exhale, let's try a lion breath. Inhale and then exhale. All right, feel free to do as much lion breath as you like. Stretch that jaw, let everything out, stretch your tongue. All right, then coming back to center, giving a shake. All right. And then coming back, like we did before, stamp your feet a couple times, find a comfortable standing position. Again, feel free if you'd like to sit. But maybe since we have been doing the standing movements, let's just stand here. Again, invite your eyes to close, or you can keep them slightly open, just take a little gentle downward gaze. And check in once more. Notice how you're feeling in your breath, in your body, and in your mind and spirit. Maybe there was a change. Maybe there wasn't a change. Feel free to stay here in the noticing and the breathing and the softening for as long as you'd like. And thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day.